Hi everyone, welcome to the album release party of Derek Brown. My name is Daniel Chia from Singapore, and I'm so honored that Derek asked me to help to produce this show as well as to host it. We are so excited to share this new album of Derek's with you. And if some of you, as you might know, this album is very different from what you might expect from Derek, and we can't wait to share this with you. And before we bring Derek on, we just want to go into the comments and say hi to some of you who are watching right now from all parts of the world. We have Robin James, nice to see you. Brian, Michael, and we have here KK Gollum saying, cheers, hope you're doing well and you're an amazing inspiration. Thank you so much. And Derek can see all these comments here. He's waiting right behind the screen, ready to join you guys on this live stream to celebrate his brand new album. And Kat and Joe says, this song always gets stuck in my head. Marcos, we have Guan, nice to see you. We have Keith saying excited to see Derek tonight. Yes, he's gonna be appearing real soon. We have Lucien from Brazil. Nice to see you. Amanda. Let's see. Oh, this is really cool. Michael, you say Derek's music is so bright and happy that non-jazz fans would enjoy it. I totally agree. And I would dare say there's no one else, playing the saxophone like Derek right now. Is such an amazing and unique style. We have Janet here. Nice to see you. Aaron, Corner Sax, Hand of Zeus. Oh, and he says it's Caden. So yes, thank you for being here. Kristen, Aiden. Wow, thank you so much. And if you guys want, you can let Derek know also where you are watching from, which part of the world. I think Derek would love to know and be able to know where his fans of his music are from. Let's see. Oh, we have Pedro from Portugal. Wow. And Sean King from Canada. Thank you so much for being here. We have Janet from Troy, Michigan. Let's see. We have Tyler from Kelly. We have Kritin from Illinois. Let's see who else we have here. James from the East Coast. Let's see. Travis from Vegas. We have Natasha from Melbourne, Australia. So wow, you guys have you're from all different parts of the world, different time zones. So over here in Asia, it's 8 a.m. in the morning, bright and early. And we are so thankful for all of you for being here. And yes, we're gonna bring on Derek very, very soon. We have Andy from Berlin, Germany. We have Jake from Grand Rapids, which is we will share where Derek is from later as well, but that's right there where Derek is. We have friends from Australia, Arkansas, Mexico. Oh, Kat and Joe is from Holland, the home of the Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra. Yes, that's so awesome. We have Robin from Pittsburgh. We have friends from Japan as well. Wow. And Bill here from the saxophone section. Wow. I know we're gonna have some of the members of the band who played on this album, and I know that many of them are here in the chat as well. So we are so happy to have you there. Diane says, so looking forward to this album release. Yes, we can't wait to show you clips from the recording of this album. So we have 4 videos that we're going to show you, and then these videos are going to be premiered on Derek's YouTube channel in the subsequent weeks as well. We have Payaso from Brazil. We have Jeffrey from Georgia. All right, let's see. We have Jim from Texas. We have Aaron from the trombone section. Wow, that's awesome. And if you guys are new to Derek's YouTube channel, don't forget to click subscribe and you can check out all the other videos that Derek has put out. And if you guys are watching on Facebook, you can click on the link above and join us here on the YouTube chat as well. And don't forget to share the link with as many of your friends and people who you know will love this saxophone music, and so that they can enjoy this album as well. Very, very, very soon we're gonna bring up Derek on the screen. And let's go through more of the comments. Gabriel says you're sharing with your friends. Thank you so much. Not Fred from Iowa. Thank you. Matthew says Derek and this album has renewed my faith in good music and jazz. Wow. And just listen to the album 3 times on Spotify. Wow. So maybe now might be a good time for me to also share the link where you can purchase Derek's album. You can get an autographed signed copy. And I'm going to drop the link in the comments right now. So do check it out. You'll see the many options where you can get it, and most importantly is the autograph CD, which is gonna be you guys are gonna be one of the first to be able to get your hands on it. So I think without further ado, I'm gonna bring on the very, very special guest, that the special man that you guys have been waiting for today. And let's please welcome the one and only Derek Brown.
everybody. Thank you so much for being here for the album release party of All Figured Out. Derek Brown and the Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra. I'm so pumped for the show tonight. I know some of you are so sick of me promoting this on social media, so it's finally here. And I'm so excited for you guys to hear some of the first music from this album. And those of you who know my music, who know my previous two albums, you might have been expecting something like you just heard. This was just a little bit of improvisation in my beatbox sax style. But this third album is quite a bit different, and we're going to talk about it in a little bit. But let's roll a little clip here to see what this. Woo! Let's do this.
Right. Wow,
Are you guys
Derek, that was
pumped
a
up yet?
great video. That was a great way to start off the show, bursting through the curtains. And
Of my basement, of course, my little bunker down here.
yeah, and really nice space, and immediately we've had comments on your cello and your saxophone at the back,
You weren't
really
you
nice
weren't supposed to see that
setup.
back there. No, and
Cool.
actually, I'll talk a little bit about why that cello is there. But first, yeah, we have this new album that we're celebrating tonight, and thank you, Daniel, for hosting all the way from Singapore. Everybody, I don't know if you heard, it is 8 a.m. in the morning at Singapore. The perfect time to listen
No
to
better
jazz,
time for
right?
an album release than 8 a.m.
Of course, that's kind of the prime time in Singapore to release albums.
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, we're so excited, and when I first heard of this album, I was like, and I think many people have been commenting as well. It's almost like they didn't, of course they didn't expect it, and to hear you play, solo and play so much more in the jazz and bebop, vein. It's just so refreshing for myself, for sure. So,
Cool.
how did this concept start?
Yeah, well, speaking of the cello back there, I am a big proponent in challenging myself and keeping things fun and fresh. In fact, I think I often talk to people on masterclasses and say anybody can actually be a successful musician, have a professional career, as long as they can sustain it. And to sustain it, you have to be healthy. Like, take care of your body. You have to pay the bills. But then you also have to keep things fun, getting into remembering why we do music in the first place. And then you have to keep things challenging at all times. And a lot of people, when they get into a career, it can get old after a while or stale. And that's the last thing that I want to happen, I have this little beatbox sax style, and I don't want to just be like, just do the same songs, the same way of playing songs forever. There's obviously limitations, to my creativity. And so, like with the cello here, this is actually me trying to learn how to play cello. And do not worry, I'm not going to play tonight. You don't want to hear that. But one of the ways of challenging myself was, you know what? It's actually fun playing with other musicians sometimes. And in my second studio album, 50/50, That one, about half of the songs were actually duos or bigger. And as I started to kind of experiment with playing with people, some people may have seen some YouTube videos of me playing with Caleb Elzinga, who's also in the Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra, with the great Jeff Coffin of Dave Matthews Band, and then also with like a rapper, Keith Harris from Chicago. And I just realized, man, playing with other musicians gets me to think outside of the box even more, and it's kind of a new challenge in like, how can I incorporate my solo sound, still my identity, but with other musicians. And like, for instance, in that promo you heard there, I was just kind of another member of the band. I wasn't really doing my percussive stuff that I'm known for. But in this first clip that we're going to play here in a little bit, called A Simple Gesture, there you're going to hear kind of the culmination of the two worlds, where I realized, I could do like some kind of cadenzas at the beginning, use a little bit of my beatbox sax style, set the groove, and then the band plays, and then maybe band drops out, and so forth. And it's just been so much fun and reinvigorating. Also, a ton of work. I used to just write music for myself, and now I'm writing for 18 up to almost 30 musicians on this album were involved. And so it was a lot of work doing that, but it was a challenge and it became fun. And I think, I'll always do some solo stuff like I did in the beginning, but this is a whole new world for me, and I'm having a fun time with it.
Yeah. How long did you think the whole preparation phase took for preparing this album?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I don't want to add up the hours because it's just insane. I mean, the amount of hours of writing the music, like I said, for 18 musicians, 9 tracks, plus a string quartet sometimes, plus a percussion ensemble. It was a lot. But the key thing for being an artist, it's the journey. It's not the end product. As much as I'm celebrating tonight with the other musicians and director here tonight, it's not just about this. And maybe this is actually just a very small part. This is just the part that you guys, the audience, sees. Hopefully, it's the joy of writing this stuff. It's the joy of playing it. I've already gotten my money's worth out of this, and so yeah. If you do the math and add up all the hours, it's probably not worth it for any independent artist. But it's about growing. It's about having fun. It's about challenging ourselves, and I definitely did that on this album.
For sure. I think even when you started on your journey, with the beatbox sax, and that was so refreshing, but, it's just so amazing to see that, you're not just gonna, keep doing that for, the rest of your playing years, and you've already, moved on and evolved, and maybe we'll see what happens with the cello next.
I mean, there is a part of me that's like, hey, I wrote an album for a big band. What about an orchestra? I like playing with different instruments. Who knows? I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. And that gets to the title of this thing, All Figured Out. It's completely ironic. If you look at the cover, one, I'm kind of like a little freaked out, like I'm kind of stuck in the middle. What in the world am I doing? Letters backwards. I'm a confused man. I'm just pretending that I have it all figured out. We all think we all have it all figured out. And so this is my attempt, just doing something new. And that's kind of a motto for me, is like, you're never going to be it's never going to be perfect. Just jump in, just try it, record videos, play with other musicians, and just see what happens. Maybe some of it'll stick. Maybe some people will like it. And I've been very fortunate that some people have liked it. And so I'm very appreciative to all the people watching and buying the album and listening to it. So
for sure, we really can't wait, for everyone to get their hands on the signed copy, which you just showed on screen just now. So if you guys want, you can get it straight from Derek's store at derekbrownsax.com/store. The link we shared earlier as well, which we'll be sharing down the road as well and during this show. So maybe, Derek, now will be a good time for us to premiere the first video that we want to share for today. And maybe you could share just a bit more about the song before we show the video.
Yeah, so this one, now I did release a video 2 weeks ago that was called Again. You heard that on the intro music to this. But this is kind of almost like the album's single, I would say. It's called A Simple Gesture. It's track 4, I think, on the album. And this is one I actually originally wrote for a fusion group, like a rock fusion group back in Chicago called Low Spark. We didn't play it very much. It didn't work very well, but I thought, hey, let's try this in the big band setting and see if I can flesh it out. And like I said, this one you're going to hear a little bit more of the melding of the beatbox sax style with the big band setting, and you're going to hear the amazing Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra, which is Holland, Michigan, not to be confused with the other Holland, but it's a special place, and it's directed by Dr. Jordan Van Hemert, who's also the Hope College director, which we filmed this in Hope College. Also, those of you that are being very careful about the coronavirus, as you should be, you'll notice we're not wearing masks. We're sitting very close together. That's because this whole project was recorded back in February, right before everything got crazy in the world. So don't worry, we would have been social distancing, but this is back when times were normal back then. And you're going to hear some solos, an awesome trombone solo by Mark Wells. You're going to hear a piano solo by Andrew Dupree, and a little bit of soloing by me. So this is A Simple Gesture. Enjoy. The Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra, everybody. So yeah, my tongue still hurts thinking about all that triple tonguing I did on that tune. More so the practicing leading up to that. But man, doesn't that Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra sound pretty good?
That was, just so incredible, just so tight. And the I was telling you earlier, so the mixing on the album, I mean, that's one mean feat, to
Yeah,
get
and that's thanks to Drew Elliott, who was the sound engineer at Hope College where we recorded. And I don't know if I mentioned, but Hope College is actually my alma mater. I live right now in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is only a half a mile away from where I went to college, Hope College. in Holland, Michigan, Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra. And there's also some Hope College students involved in this project. It all gets a little bit confusing. Just remember there's an H in there somewhere. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was I feel really happy about that track. Amazing solos by Mark and Andrew. There's some great players here in Michigan, and I'm so happy to get them involved here. And it's fun that a lot of them are watching.
Yeah. That's really cool. And Derek, maybe would you want to share more about our and introduce our first special guest? And maybe just before that, we want to let the viewers know that today there are many, many special guests. So we're gonna bring up the first and probably one of the most important people besides you, in this project. So maybe Derek, would you like to introduce our first guest?
He's probably more important than me on this album because he's the one that put the whole band together. Without him, it would just be another Derek Brown album. So this is, ladies and gentlemen, the director of the Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra, Dr. Jordan Van Hemert. Big applause, big applause.
All right. Hey, Jordan. Okay.
Hey, everybody.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Jordan, how's it going?
Going well. How about yourself, Derek?
I'm doing great. It looks like you are at Hope College right now. Is that correct?
I am at Hope College. I'm in my office where I serve as professor of saxophone and jazz studies.
Yeah, and Jordan, when did we meet? I remember we met at a brewery in Grand Rapids. It was Founders. Do you remember when that was? This is not me acting, folks. Just so you know. I actually don't know the precise day. It was sometime last year, maybe in the fall, summer.
I think it was July 2019. I was playing the monthly Founders residency with the Grand Rapids Jazz Orchestra,
Another great band.
And you just happened to be there. I know we were talking about. You had sent me a couple of emails, and we were talking about meeting, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, there's Derek Brown at my gig. It was great. We started talking then about I think your record. We may have even started talking about it at that time.
I think I walked up to you and I said, "Hey, Jordan, will you make a record with me?" By the way, I'm Derek. No, something like that. But yeah, I was looking as we talked about before. I've done these solo things, and it was kind of writing for more musicians. I had also just finished this. We probably talked about this. Had finished this 50/50 tour where me and my wife were in an RV for 9 months. Visited all 50 states, played in all 50 states, and I started writing some tunes for that because some of these schools that I played at had jazz ensembles, and so I had a couple of tunes, and I was just, I had big visions of, hey, what if we do a whole album? Are there any good bands around here in Michigan? And then, I heard about the Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra, and I'm certainly glad I did. We met, and you were like, let's do this thing.
Absolutely. And, I think when you said, I think you were talking about the style of the record, and you said, this is not like your grandmother or grandfather's jazz orchestra record, jazz ensemble.
As much as I like that stuff, it's definitely not.
Yeah, it's great stuff. But I was really intrigued because, with HCJO, we're always looking to do some really cutting edge, innovative materials. So when you said the words arena rock jazz, I said, all right, let's talk. Let's make this happen.
Yeah, I definitely have learned to get in touch with my inner, like the whole musical guilty pleasure, and like arena rock is definitely one of those things. Also 80s music. And so you might hear a little bit of that stuff kind of creeping into some of these songs here. And yeah, and Jordan was totally down. The members of the band, not only excellent musicians, they were also just very willing to try this stuff and to play this stuff. Most of these charts had never been performed before. Some of it I was even tweaking after a couple of rehearsals, just trying to figure out how this could all work. And then we did a concert at Hope College. That was, I guess, when was that? That was in early February.
February, the weekend prior to the session.
That's right. Yeah. Which was, if you want to record an album, put a concert right before. It'll make sure you have it down. So that's what we did. There was like snowstorms happening up here in Michigan. We barely got it together, but it happened, and we did this album in 2 days. And we also got some students involved. Do you want to talk about that, Jordan?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm always looking as a professor at Hope College to get my students involved in what I would call real world musical situations. That is, that they should be able to know what to expect when they go on to a gig. And so I always want them to be prepared and, maybe to a fault, maybe a little over prepared. But I had talked to Derek and I said, "Hey, wouldn't it be great? Look, you are an alumnus of Hope College. Would you mind like maybe doing one of these tunes with the jazz ensemble here? I think the students would love to see what an alumnus of Hope is doing." And Derek, you came back and said, "Well, do any of your students want to be on the record?" And I was just so blown away and so excited to give my students through you that opportunity to be on an album like this that's mixed by the wonderful Drew Elliott, who was just incredible running that session. And I just think that above all of the ensemble concerts and all of the things that we do in higher ed, I think anytime you can put students in a recording studio, they're going to get better, they're going to improve, they're going to learn so much.
And I remember when I was back at Hope College as a student under Brian. I'm blank. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name.
Dr. Brian Coyle.
Brian Coyle, the great Brian Coyle, and we did some recording sessions. We had a lot of guest artists coming in, and that was an amazing experience for me to kind of, as my little quiet, insecure, college student, kind of being able to be exposed to that professional world and only dream of being able to do it myself. And so, yeah, I mean, I love working with students. We had some students helping Drew with the setting up of the studio, of course, in the jazz band, which we'll hear in 2 tracks from now. But also, I started to think, well, if we're going to get some students involved, do you have some like string players? 18 musicians in a big band just isn't enough. How about I write for like a string quartet too on some of these tunes, and maybe a drumming ensemble? We'll talk about that later. But yeah, and you mentioned this to your colleague, Dr. Fashion.
Yeah, and I said, "Hey, Christopher, who my incredible colleague Christopher Fashion, he's a Fulbright scholar, and he's an interesting person because not only is he a violist, not only is he an amazing percussionist, he is also a Fulbright scholar to Brazil. So he has all of these influences and is so open to collaboration." So I said, "Hey, Christopher, Dr. Fashion, do you have any students in your orchestra who would like to be on this record with an alumnus?" And he got 4 incredible string players. Elizabeth Bachwick and Abby Finnegan and Leanne Robinson and Anna Janowski. And they just did such an amazing job. They were working on the music. They were, champs in the studio. And it's really cool that they also got to be part of the record. I think, regardless of where you're coming from musically, you can find something that you like on this record. And certainly, if it's not, the saxophone and the beatbox saxophone, it's the strings or the percussion, the Brazilian percussion group. Really, Derek, it's just such a varied album, and that was one of the most compelling and fun things for me as the director to work on the project, is how varied it was. It wasn't like conducting 8 of the same tune or whatever,
Cool. Well, I kind of threw it all in there, including the kitchen sink. I could see some people saying like, "Man, every song gets so big, Derek," and I'm just an emotional guy, and so I just love. I think it's also the idea of, I've always been doing everything acoustic solo sax, and I've been trying to play stuff that's big and epic in my head, and not until now, when I have all these amazing musicians and students and this whole team available, then I could really go as big and powerful as I wanted to. And you'll hear that on this next tune if we can play this. And Jordan, thank you so much for being here. We're going to chat with you. We'll bring you back at the very end. And I tell you what, could we do? Well, let's do the Q&A at the end, Jordan. We'll bring you back for the Q&A,
sure.
If that's cool.
Sounds great. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks so much
you guys,
for having me, Derek.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks so much for being here. And let's cue that next tune we've been talking about, The Pursuit. This is by the Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra and me, and members of the Hope College Orchestra. This is The Pursuit. Woo!
Wow. That was another huge tune. Wow.
That speaking of the hugeness, that was one that Drew Elliott, the mixer. I mean, he had a lot of work cut out. There were a lot of
Wow.
parts there. I wrote a lot of different stuff there, and he made it all come together. And of course, director Jordan Van Hemert and the band themselves. So super
It's
fun.
just so
And Caleb Elzinga, my good friend on tenor sax, doing the duo battle stuff. So fun playing
and
with
I
him.
think I saw in the comments people were saying the video work as well. You know, it's just incredible the footage. And I think someone asked if they can still watch this after. Yes, you can. It'll still be on Derek's YouTube channel for the rest of eternity, so you can watch it
Whoa.
as many times as you
See about
want.
that.
And yeah, if in case you guys noticed that there was a short break in between each video, you know, that's a limitation of this platform. It only allows us to put 5-minute videos up, so we had to split the video. So you know, no perfect platform right now. Technology is amazing, but just small things that we aren't allowed to do, like put a full 7-8 minute video up right now. So don't worry, it's not your internet connection or anything. It's just the
Don't punch your
platform
computer
needing,
screen.
to go to the next video. So this next segment is gonna be really fun, and you know, I think it's such a great way to hear from the people who have been, you know, supporting Derek in his journey. And so we're gonna feature the companies that Derek endorses, and we have a representative from each of these companies. And unfortunately, just one of them can't make it live, but the rest of them are actually all here ready to be part of the show, which is just incredible. So maybe Derek, you want to introduce the first video that we're gonna premiere about the first company.
Yeah, all the way from Austria. Walter Rurik represents Austrian Audio, which is the company that very generously provided us with some microphones and a bunch of headphones that we wouldn't have been able to do this project without. I also use their microphones, Austrian Audio microphones. Really, really great company, made in Austria. And for some reason, Walter didn't want to be awake at like 5 or 2 a.m., 3 a.m., whatever it is there. So he sent us this message.
Hi everybody, I'm Walter Rurik, the Artist Relation Manager at Austrian Audio, and we are proud to make Derek's favorite microphones such as the OC818 and the headphones. We are honored to help out with Derek's recording, and we are excited to be here at Derek's live album launch. We can't wait for you all to hear his incredible music. Thank you very much. All the best, Derek, from Austrian Audio in Vienna. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Walter. And now, can we bring on the crew?
Yes, definitely.
We've got some fun people coming up.
Yeah, we have four of the representatives from each of these companies that Derek has been associated with for so many years, and I'm gonna bring them up one by one. We have Jimmy Merchant from BG. We have
Jimmy.
Jody Espina from Jody Jazz.
Jody.
We have
Hey.
Sean King from Leisure
Hey,
Reads, and
Sean.
we have Craig
Hey there.
Denny from P. Moriat.
Craig, how's it going,
Wow.
everybody?
Hi, Derek.
Good to
Good
see
to
you
be
guys. Thanks so much for being a part of this. This means so much to me. I've been working with you guys over the past multiple years. Starting back with Leger, way before I was doing any of this beatbox sax stuff. I just played these reeds because they just lasted so long and they were all the same. And then I went to the NAMM show back in well, we can talk about this more, but I met Jody there and got connected with his amazing mouthpieces. Then I tried a P. Moriat sax for the first time, fell in love with that, and then finally, to cap it all off, with an amazing ligature from BG France. So I'm so excited that you guys are here. I couldn't have done this album without you guys and your amazing companies. So
so great. You know, it's so nice to see so many people on screen. I think this is the most I've had, you know, in a while. You know, 6 people on screen, and all the people who are, you know, definitely
go.
a huge part of this album. You know, you guys, you know, support Derek in in everything. That's
Hollywood
so cool.
Squares.
Maybe Sean, if we can start with you. When was the first time you met or heard about Derek?
Oh, I heard about Derek. Well, long before I started working with Leger. We used to play some of his tunes on the on the speakers when I worked in a music store in Toronto, Canada, and that was some of the first time. I never kind of thought that I'd be able to meet the guy at some point, so that was quite a big shock. The first time I think Derek we met was the Midwest Clinic in 2017. You'd been using the reeds then for, I think, probably about 7 years or something at that point.
Like
So that long predates my time with the company, and just but he's always been a fixture with Leger, using Leger as like the reed of choice for everything you do. And we're very, very happy and grateful, and we're proud to be a part of anything that you put together.
Wow.
Thank you. And when we met, that was when you realized that I'm like 7 feet tall, right?
That I think we've got a couple good pictures where I'm just standing going, oh.
It's the secret to the beatbox sax sound, the long fingers and the.
It's all in the height.
It's the Leger reeds, actually. Let's be honest. No, but man, we've spent a lot of time in trade shows together, Sean, between the Midwest Clinic in Chicago and the NAMM show. So it's been great getting to know you and the team at Leger. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm stuck with you guys, whether you like it or not, because your reeds are just. I'm not going anywhere.
We're happy about that very much.
And I always feel like, Derek, with your beatbox sax style of playing, it's probably one of the best endorsements for the reed, for how much, brutal hurt you're bringing to these reeds, and for it to, still sound good, so, and it sounded great on the album for sure, so how was your, do you find that, playing Leger reeds really helped, this style of playing that you have developed?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, on one hand, I've been playing on Leger for so long, I don't even remember Kane that well, but I do know that, these reeds just, they last so much longer for me. And because I'm, very abusive on these things. And just the whole deal with when I come out on stage, I don't have to wet the reed. It's just on the mouthpiece and I come out playing, and I can just set it down and just pick it up anytime and keep playing. So it encourages me to practice more. So it's, it's just so many good things about it.
That's amazing. And maybe Jimmy, when was the first time you met Derek?
I actually met Derek right before the world changed with COVID. So I think the last trip that we went on, both of us, was NASA out in Arizona at the North American
Space Camp. No, continue. Yeah, not that NASA.
The saxophone conference. Different NASA, but just as cool.
Of course.
So, but I first found out about Derek, like Sean, way before my time at BG. So, when I had been going to NAMM, I got introduced there as well about different artists using the BG ligatures, and one of the first names that came up was Derek, and that's how I discovered Derek Brown, the beatbox sax guy. And ever since then, it's been a pleasure working with you. I hope that we get to connect more in person when things get back to a different type of normal. But
for sure.
And Derek, you play the BG dual ligature, right, on your mouthpiece. So maybe you can share a bit more about that.
The rose gold model, and it's the soprano sizing, because the metal mouthpiece is smaller than a typical hard rubber. So I use the soprano size, and it just fits perfect. It holds that Leger reed perfect, and we're going to talk about that combo in a little bit. But I've actually done a couple of ligatures with them. I started with the Revelation Jazz ligature, which had kind of a perfect combination of the soft rubber outside, but with some metal holding the reed. And then when I tried the duo, I just fell in love with it. And also I use BG for lots of things, like, pad savers. I use it. I have a patch on my mouthpiece that's really important from BG. So BG's just been great to be connected with because they just make so many accessories that are really great for the sax.
And we have Craig from P. Moriat. When we all know the saxophone is a huge integral part of your sound as
Yeah,
well.
it's a little
So-
important, I guess.
Slightly important. Yeah.
Yeah. So Craig, when was the first time you got connected with Derek?
Wow. I think it was 2015 or 16. I don't exactly remember the year, but I remember the first experience distinctly. And it was hearing about Derek and the concept and thinking, okay, cool.
Gimmick. You were one of those guys.
Right. But really the potential to be super gimmicky. And I listened to, I think it was your first record, Derek, and I was like, whoa, hold on. Because I'm a saxophone player too. Everybody on, I know Jimmy's a great player, Jody's a great player, and I own a few. And I was like, oh wow, okay, this is not gimmicky, this is real deal. And I really enjoy listening to it. And for anybody that knows me, I'm super hard on listening to like players' albums, even artists. I'm like, I'm very picky. The recording's got to be great. All the technical details have to be right on. Everything about the album was killing, and I was like,
Thank you.
this is, and then I realized, I was like, oh wow, and he plays P. Moriat already, and it was just, the second I met Derek, I was like, okay, this is going to be great. We take a lot of pride in working with great people, not just great players, and that was for us the biggest part of getting to meet Derek for the first time and starting to work with him on different projects. That it's been fantastic, and it's because he's a great person in addition to being a phenomenal player. And as evidenced by this album, not just as a player that has really explored extended technique, but as somebody who really knows how to play the horn, how to write tunes, how to write for different ensembles. I mean, it's everything, and it's fantastic. I love it.
Well, I'm glad that I tricked you into thinking that I had it all figured out. Because remember, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but thank you, Craig. That means a lot. And yeah, obviously, that horn is so important for what I do. I used to play on an old Mark VI because I kind of wanted to be in the old Mark VI club. But at a NAMM show, played a P. Moriat and just fell in love with it. The beautiful low end, and it kind of all the horns kind of seems the most similar to maybe one of these old classic vintage horns in the sound, but with like super modern mechanics that just work well for my hands and everything. Plus, it's allowed me to do a little bit of modifications here and there, and we might talk about that in a little bit. But I'm getting ahead of myself.
That's okay. That's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that the other part of you picking the horn that you picked, you're hard on horns, and you're not just hard on horns like a road player is hard on horns. You're hard on your
I'm
horn.
physically beating it on the stage. If you
Like
see my
on a-
live solo show, yeah.
Like on a biblical scale, you're hard on horns. And so, just to see you take your saxophone and turn it into, what really is a beatbox saxophone, and have it be as as modified as it is, and it still sounds great and still does everything that it needs to do as a saxophone, but can also morph into all of these different things. It's pretty incredible to watch.
And I think for people who really love Derek's sound and him playing on the Moriat, you definitely want to stay tuned to new updates, because there's going to be more exciting news that I'm sure Derek and Craig can share down the road. And I'm not sure how much you want to give away for both Derek and Craig, if you want to share more.
Well, I don't know, Craig. I mean, I've been giving a little bit of teasers on my social media, anyways. But let's just say there's. What's that? Let's bring out the truth.
Through.
Okay. So yeah, I have all these modifications on my saxophone, things that I'm doing with the rings on the back. People often ask how I'm making the clicking sound. I'm using these rings on the thumb hook, and I kind of shaved that down. I kind of made a guiro shape on one of the side, carving ridges. I put a protective kind of metal strip on the horn and on the bottom so I could beat it on stage. I did all these different things, and I kind of went to P. Morat and was like, hey, any chance, one, I became worried, what if I ever need another horn? Am I gonna have to build this thing again? And we started talking about the potential of maybe P. Moriat making a signature horn that might have some of these things. I keep saying might because it's not been officially announced, but stay tuned. You may see something in the future about a certain beatbox saxophone.
I think you'll see something soon.
Okay.
Yeah, and you guys are definitely the first to have ever heard about it. So do look out. I'm sure Derek's very excited to share it. Definitely a horn that you could possibly get off the shelf and already make life a lot
you can
easier
beat it
rather
up
than I
like
can
I do.
imagine how many man hours you needed to to modify your saxophone.
And let's just say I've seen it and it looks awesome and it plays awesome.
That's awesome. And talking about signature models, so Derek, you already have a signature model mouthpiece out from a very amazing brand called Jody Jazz, and we have Jody right here. And Jody, maybe you could share more
Hey,
about
Jody.
your first meetings
Hey.
with Derek.
Sure. Thanks for having me. Derek, congratulations on this album. This is epic, amazing. I love the charts. Derek, are those charts going to be available for purchase?
They are actually. Thanks for bringing that up. Actually, I think 4 of them are available on my website right now. I sell lots of sheet music there, from my solo stuff to this big band stuff, and I will end up releasing all of it because I love visiting schools. I love playing with schools as a guest artist. But even a lot of this stuff, I'm going to have versions where you don't have to have someone that knows necessarily beatbox sax. And so pretty much
Right.
any school could play, any big band or school band could play these charts.
And as amazing as the charts are, they sound accessible by a good high school band. And so band directors and kids in bands, tell your band director to get Derek at your school. It's
Yeah.
going to be great and very inspirational. And so what I want to say, is this story, like Craig Denny from P. Morit is a really good friend. And he mentioned the good people type of thing that Derek and his wife, Rachel, are. And this is a story of good people with all these companies. With P. Morit, I've known them for 20 years. With Leger, I've been up there several times. With BG, when I first saw that duo ligature, when it first came out, I really liked it. It's one of my favorite ligatures. And so we made you a beatbox mouthpiece. It's a customized DV for you because, you kept saying, I need this and I need that. I love the DV, but the crazy stuff I do, you're playing over an hour solo. And so it ended up being a 5-tip opening with a little darker sound. And I think it's working tremendously.
Yeah, and it's almost like it's a cross between a classical mouthpiece and a jazz mouthpiece because it's got the more closed tip, which allows me to just be more expressive with my extended techniques and less tiring, as we mentioned. But it still has that beautiful, beautiful core of a sound in a DV mouthpiece, which I think is the most amazing mouthpiece in the world. And for me, it just got even better with this DV beatbox. So I'm so grateful that you would even consider making these changes on this mouthpiece. And it's really cool that you're making it available to everybody.
Well, it's really fun when an artist pushes you that way, and the way you pushed me and maybe pushing that P. Morit horn. It brings us to new places that we wouldn't have gone. And so, I'm very good friends with all these companies. And the cool thing was with the beatbox, Franck Bichon from BG reached out to me and he said, Jody, what if we bundle your beatbox with the duo ligature that Derek plays? And we both said, and maybe we can get Leger and we'll put your Leger reed on it. And so that's the announcement tonight, that the beatbox is now available with a duo ligature and your Leger 2.5 signature reed. And so they can have exactly what you play. and it's no more money. It's $180
amazing.
value for free. So
Wow.
so that's the announcement I have, and I'm just really proud
Can you
to
mark
be
me down for a
associated with-
couple of those? I want to get in on that.
It's a good deal. So if you buy it on the website now or buy it from a dealer, you can get that bundle. We're programming the website. I don't know if it's up there tonight, but it should be there in the next couple of days. It'll say that. But if you buy it, you can get those great things. And it plays great. I've been playing it with the reed, the Leger, and the duo rose gold ligature. It's smoking. So
And you don't have to do beatbox style, I think, to appreciate
Not at
this.
all.
Like I said, I think a lot of classical players that are switching to jazz, this could be a great mouthpiece where it's not this crazy open tip like so many pieces have. Or I think a lot of times alto players that want to do tenor, where they're used to, once again, a more closed tip. Or players that, I'll call myself old at 37, that maybe aren't playing as much, and even though I am playing a lot, but sometimes if you're not playing as much, you can't keep track of those crazy openings, and this will just be a way more manageable. So it's just a really good mouthpiece, I think, in general.
all right.
Yeah.
Well,
And
thanks
I
a
think
lot.
no
Thank you.
better time to announce this bundle than tonight, right here with all the representatives of the three companies involved in this bundle. And we had a great, sneak peek of a possible, big announcement from P. Moriarty as well. So
Stay
once
tuned
again,
for much more on that.
yes, once again, you can look at this beautiful combo here. The beatbox sax DV beatbox mouthpiece from Jody Jazz, the BG Duo Rose Gold, as well as the Leger Signature 2.5. So, and it's still at the same price as the DV beatbox.
That's amazing.
So, go to the link. You will find the link there. Just purchase it, and you will get this bundle while stocks last. So, do look out for that and act fast. Once again, thank you so much for all you guys who are watching live here, and you get, a chance to get ahead on all these, good deals before anyone else, before we release this. So thank you so much once again. And, for all four of you who took your precious time to be part of Derek's launch, it's just so incredible.
Thank you
it's a
guys so
full
much.
circle.
Like I said, it means so much that you guys are here. You guys have helped me out so much in various ways in the past, and this is just another encouraging boost, just seeing your beautiful smiling faces. But for
I
this
should take a
really fun
picture.
event. Oh yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. Smile.
I can't
Cheers,
take a
guys.
picture. I'm
Thanks for having us.
Congratulations, Derek.
Yeah, congratulations.
Cheers. Thank you guys.
So thank you so much, and then we hope to see you guys soon again.
Absolutely.
All right.
care.
Thanks for
Bye.
having us.
Take care. And now, Daniel, let's play another
Yeah.
video here because we
Yeah.
have video number 3. Thank you guys for
Yes.
sticking with us. We got a lot
Yeah.
of different things come up. And by the way, after this video is when the big giveaway is happening. So stay tuned and remember everything you heard because we're going to ask 5 questions. And the first
Yeah.
person to answer each of those individual questions is going to get a free autographed CD. So stick around and brush up on your Derek Brown and the Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra
Yeah.
trivia. But this next song that we're going to play, it's called The Good Fight. It actually ends
Yeah.
the album, and it's the longest track. It's over 11 minutes. We're going to play kind of a shortened version. It's
Yeah.
kind of the second half. But I wanted to play this version tonight because it features the Hope College Jazz Ensemble, along with some members of the Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra. But this is the tune that I had the students most involved with. And so you'll hear this amazing student group, once again led by Jordan Van Hemert. And making us a kind of a surprise at the end is Dr. Christopher Fashion's Brazilian drumming ensemble. And this is once again where I was just like, I'm throwing it all in. I hear a march here. There's a little bit about, I could kind of go on and on about this piece, but this one kind of talks about kind of my story, my kind of creative story. That's the good fight that I'm referring to. And so it goes through on these like light moments, these dark moments, these ups, these downs, kind of pushing on, charging on, and I won't spoil how it ends. But this is the good fight.
Right. Wow.
I still get chills listening to that. The band played so great, and that Brazilian drumming ensemble, so awesome.
Wow.
I'm so glad that we got them involved.
Yeah, and it's so
it's really
nice
fun.
to get the students from Hope College involved in that. I think that probably ties everything in for you, Derek. Coming from the school and to have them involved in this album, that's really incredible.
Cool. Well, and I just remember being in their shoes. I mean, at Hope College when I said it before, when it was a insecure sax player. I had no idea what I was doing back then. I had no idea, if you had told me, one, that I'd even be performing, making a career out of this, I probably wouldn't have believed you. But if you had told me that I'd be doing like mostly a solo career in this thing, beatbox sax, I'd be like, what the heck? I wasn't even working on that stuff at that time. And so it was just in college and a little after that, I started exposing myself to various types and exploring. And so hopefully, getting these students involved and like on the 50/50 tour can help expose them to something, even if they never want to do any beatbox playing themselves. Just having an open mind and listening to different stuff, I think does us all good as musicians and as people, hopefully too.
Yeah, and I think even people who don't play the saxophone, you are a trombonist, and you play the flute, and if Derek comes to your school, be it a high school or college, and just I think I can imagine if I was a student, even if I'm not a saxophonist, and seeing where you could take the saxophone, I think that really motivates and encourages people of all instruments, to see, okay, where can I go and how far we can push ourselves. So I think that's going to be so awesome. And I hope, over the, once the whole COVID situation, gets better, we will see a lot more videos of you collaborating with many different school bands. That would be really cool.
Yeah, and I still can't believe that, I am privileged to be able to like teach anybody anything or like maybe inspire someone. I don't know. That still seems strange to me because I'm just doing what I've always done, which is just practicing a lot and just trying different things. So it does mean a lot to me that people are into the stuff that I'm doing. But all that to say is, I'm not any more gifted. I really don't think I'm more gifted than anybody else. I just put in a lot of time working on this stuff, and I'm not afraid to just experiment, like the whole thing, all figured out. It's just, it's a made up thing. It's not all figured out. I don't know what I'm doing. And so anybody in those same shoes, you guys, who knows what you're going to come up with. So just to... We're all in this together, and I have no clue, just like anyone else. But anyways, let's get on to the giveaway, shall we?
Yeah, if that gave you chills, those videos, you definitely want to get your hands on the whole album. And Derek has been so kind to give away 5 CDs today for this special giveaway. 5 questions, and this will be your best way. So fastest fingers first. So we're just going to lay down some ground rules. Whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, it doesn't matter. We will still be collating the fastest entry that comes in on our platform here, StreamYard. So we are right here looking at the comments, and Derek will be the final judge, be it, whether the answers are close enough or whether there's any small spelling errors. We try to keep it really relaxed. We don't need it to be, 110% correct, but ultimately the fastest answer that seems correct, I'll put it up on screen. Derek can see it, and if he gives the okay, you are the winner of that CD for that question. So
and then to get the CDs, we'll give you I'll just post my email address on here, and the 5 winners can just shoot me an email. Write down that email. It's pretty easy. Derek Preston
I'll
Brown.
send it out later after the 5 winners have been announced. So are you guys ready? Get your fingers on your keyboard or your phone. Fastest fingers first, closest answer, and hopefully the spelling is as close to correct as possible. So I'm going to start off by asking the first question. Now, question 1. Name all 5 saxophone and audio companies Derek endorses. Once again, name all 5 saxophone and audio companies that Derek endorses.
And I know there's about like a 15-second live delay here.
Yeah.
In case anyone swears and we have to edit it out. No. It's in case I play a bad note, then they cut it out. But no.
So let's see what the
Can you get
first...
all 5? Not just 4. We had 4 live people talking, but there's a 5th one too, if you remember.
Yes.
People are going to my website now. Don't use the website. Yeah, I think it might even be like a 20-second delay. I noticed when you were starting. It's funny because I was trying to listen. I've been trying to listen to this stream, but then also to like YouTube on my other computer. And when I'm typing those comments, I'm like listening to 2 things at once. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. All right. We have Aiden Brown, first one that pops up here. Leger, Jody Jazz, P. Morat, BG, Austrian Audio. Wow.
That's all 5. And
model,
perfect spelling.
Perfect spelling, model answer. Aiden Brown, incredible. You're the first to come in through YouTube.
Congrats, Aiden.
Congratulations. You get a signed CD. Ken Snow is
yours.
Coming in also really, really close.
Oh, Ken, you'll get the next one.
Yes, Aiden got there first, but thank you so much, guys, for the rest who have. Jody is in here as well.
Oscar Mayer Wiener, I want that one. I want to endorse them. Free hot dogs would be awesome.
Wow,
Maybe you can work that out, Jody.
Congratulations to Aiden. Do stick around. Don't leave just right after you get your signed CD. So we're gonna drop a link to Derek's email where you guys can email only the winners, of course. And of course, if you want to ask Derek, for a CD through email as well, that I'm sure.
Just don't send me an email saying, "How do I play the saxophone?" I can't answer that. Practice for 30 years. And then
which size reed should I use?
Yeah. Okay, question 2. Are we ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to give
Are
this
you guys
one.
Ready?
Okay. What school did I and the Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra record this album, All Figured Out? What is the name of the school? We recorded it in a recording studio in this school, and it's a special school for me. I could keep going on. I know there's the delay. Some of you are already probably typing, but this is also my alma mater.
We
Fancy
have
word
the
meaning.
first answer coming right in.
There's going to be like 20 of them. Yep. It
Yeah.
takes 4 letters to type. Oh, is Kat and Joe
So
are the
Kat
first?
and Joe, this is the first answer that came in on our chat, and yes, it's absolutely correct. Congratulations, you win the second signed CD from today's album
for you.
release party. Congratulations. Do look out once again for the email to contact Derek after this. So thank you so much for the rest of your replies as well. That was fast. Yes,
I'm feeling hopeful right now. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Seeing all these words, hope, college, hope. I even have a song called Hoping for the Best. I'm all about hope, looking on the bright side of things.
That's incredible. So thank you so much. That was number 2. So are you guys ready for number 3? Question number 3. Get ready. The people who have won now, the past 2 questions, they were really fast. So you want to get this answer.
And this one
right
needs to be
away.
pretty precise here. Let's see if we can get it.
Okay. Because this one I think is a bit easier. So we really need the spelling and everything to be really precise. All right, this question 3. What is the name of the mouthpiece Derek plays right now? Once again, what is the full name of the mouthpiece Derek plays right now?
And you don't have to get the capitalization right. We'll say that because I do this in a very weird way. They mimicked it after just how I title everything without giving it away. But I know you guys will type it fast. Anything
the first
coming in?
one that comes in is Jody Jazz Beatbox. Is that close enough, Derek?
I'm going to give that to B flat. The one thing you could put on is Jody Jazz DV Beatbox, but I remember Jody was calling it the Beatbox here tonight many times. So if Jody calls it the Jody Jazz Beatbox, that's what we're going to call it. It's also, the DV beatbox based on the DV model. That's it. B flat sax.
All right, B flat sax. Congratulations, you
Congrats.
win the third CD, signed CD. Thank you so much. And for the rest of you, many close seconds right here.
There we go. Yep.
Yeah, so many of you got it correct, but just B flat sax was the fastest to get his in. So stay tuned. We have 2 more questions to go. So
And I'll
yes,
take this one.
congratulations, B flat sax.
Way to go. All right, this next one, for some of you will be easy. The last one's going to be maybe harder, but this one has nothing to do with the album. The question is, here we go. Question number 4. What is the song name of my most popular YouTube video? What is the name of that song that I play? It's by far the most popular. It doesn't mean it's my favorite. I like it, but it's by far the most popular. This is the one where I actually get a little bit of money from YouTube because it's in the millions of views. So, and I don't know how it happened, but I'm grateful. What is the name of that song?
And I think, and we have the first one in.
Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Congrats. You are right.
Congratulations, Gabriel. Stand By Me is the correct answer. The most popular and by far the most views on Derek's YouTube channel. Derek, how many views do you think it has right now?
I have not looked in a long time. I think I remember someone saying like
It's more
7
than 10
million,
for
8
sure.
million. I don't know.
Okay, so if anyone knows
good
the
amount.
exact answer,
I should have given
if you are-
harder questions. People, these are too easy. I should have said, what's the exact number? Whatever.
So, Gabriel, thank you so
Congrats.
much for taking part. You're
You get one
the
of
first
these.
correct answer in. You get the CD. So, only one last CD to be given away. But, fret not. We'll be sharing the link again where you can purchase it straight from Derek's website. That will be the best way to get your hands on this very incredible
You can
album.
also
And
buy these now in a bundle. 3 autographed CDs, my 3 studio albums. This one, 50/50 and Beatbox Sax, all signed. And I'm even throwing in a sticker. Actually, for any online physical purchase, you can get a sticker in there. So, yeah, that's at my website.
Wow.
Thank you guys for the support, by the way.
Yeah, thank you so much. And one final question for a chance to win one of these today. And this one would have to be very, very accurate. I think Derek mentioned it earlier in the show. So, last and final question. In what city does Derek currently live?
Just the
Once
city.
again.
You don't even need the state. You can throw the state in. But what
Yeah,
city?
in what city does Derek currently live in?
I'm putting this in to clear the air because a lot of people think that I still live in a much bigger city in Illinois. But ever since the 50/50 tour in the RV, and my wife and I were basically homeless on the road, we decided to move a little closer to home.
Okay, the first answer in is Detroit, which is not correct. And the
Right
first
state.
correct answer
There it is. Grand Rapids.
right there.
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Don Kranz, congratulations. Grand Rapids,
Congrats,
Michigan.
Don.
Congratulations. And congratulations to our 5 winners. And thank you for those of you who have participated. At least we know you are alert and watching the show. So that means a lot also. So thank you so much for being here with Derek. More than 100 of you. I think at some points up to 150 people watching live. And and I always say there's so many things you guys could have done. On a Thursday
Don't
night.
remind them. Don't tell them about Thursday night football or anything.
Yeah,
That's starting.
so it's always
It means
just
a
so
lot
incredible.
that you guys are
it really
watching.
means
Yep.
a lot. And so congratulations to all 5 winners. And now I'm gonna share Derek's email.
It's dangerous putting this out.
So
That one sax player that was kind of spamming the messages, he's gonna send
a
me
bit,
50 emails.
yeah.
Don't show him this email, anyone.
So this is Derek's email. So drop him an email. Only the 5 winners, please. Drop him an email let him know and send your full name and address, and he'll mail it out to you. So congratulations once again to these 5 winners. But like I said, you guys can order a lot of goodies aside from this album, on Derek's website. I'm going to share the link here again. In his store, you will see even the charts, charts for many songs and his
The
previous
big band
album.
songs and my
Yeah.
solo tunes, which are basically like solo compositions. A lot of classical sax players have been playing my tunes, which has been very cool.
And Derek has a backstage pass as well. So maybe Derek, you could share quickly about that.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. That is, people have wondered where all of my YouTube tutorials went. Well, I have to be honest, during the pandemic without live concerts, I need to find various revenue streams. And so I decided to put all those videos plus a bunch of new ones and some ones on that I did in my 50/50 tour, like about the music business side, kind of my thoughts and take on all of that stuff. But all the tutorials, I think there's over 50, 60 videos on how I play this style that I do, are in my Backstage Pass subscription part of my website, which is a $5 monthly thing. You could just do it for 1 month if you want. You also get a 5% discount from anything you order. I'm also updating it with some video blogs. There's also some old albums that we haven't talked about. Albums before I was a real professional on there. I debated whether to put these on because it's me when I played in this this, like, we called it jazz bluegrass hybrid with David Youngman, my good friend. And this is like my college days. You can hear at the beginning I didn't do any beatbox sax stuff. It's a little rough, some of that stuff. And then later on you can kind of hear the evolution of that. But there's like 3 or 4 albums. My Low Spark fusion band album, that stuff's only there, a lot of that on my Backstage Pass, and you can stream that for free once you subscribe.
That's awesome. So once again, we hope you guys will really enjoy the CD. The amount of incredible writing and playing that's on this album, I think, is definitely not to be missed. So share this link. This YouTube link is available for replay. So even if you have friends who love Derek but couldn't make it for the live show, they still can rewatch it after this. So
and
I
like
think
we
now
said, all those videos, including this next one, are all going to be released in the next
Yeah.
coming weeks on my channel anyways. So
Yeah.
you can stay tuned for that and much more. You're seeing 4. I've got 8. So yeah, there's a lot.
And if
So
you
you'll be
haven't subscribed,
continuing to hear about this
Yeah.
album for quite a while. Sorry about that.
No, definitely. And if you guys haven't subscribed, please do it right now. You get all the notifications from YouTube. And if you look at the bottom of the screen, we have Derek's social media URLs, his website URL, and his handles for both Facebook and Instagram. That's the best way to keep in touch and to know all the exciting things that Derek's going to do. And maybe soon we have a beatbox cello session. So you never know. So you got to keep in touch. And so before we bring Jordan back up here again, we're going to premiere this next song. And maybe Derek, you want to share a bit?
So this next song is the title track of the album. The song is called All Figured Out. And as I've mentioned, there's actually a couple meanings for this All Figured Out. For the album, it's kind of an ironic thing that I don't know what I'm doing. This is my first time writing for all these instruments. But this song specifically, this is actually the one track that has vocals. If you've heard my other albums, you know that I sing a little bit while playing. And so you'll see me here singing, and I wrote these words. And man, in this this extremely divisive climate that we live in this world, I just wanted to kind of step back and say, man, it's really easy for us to say, man, those people over there, they just think they have it all figured out. They just they know everything, and we're going to exclude them. And yet we, a lot of times, do the same thing. We think we have it all figured out. And so everybody thinks they all have it figured out. That's what this song is about. You can hear the specific lyrics. Once again, played by the amazing Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra, directed by Dr. Jordan Van Hemert. You're going to hear some alto solo by Tim Grime. He's a student at Grand Valley, an amazing student. He's in the band. And the amazing Cliff Metcalf on organ. This guy is a phenom on organ, so enjoy that. And of course, some weird sounds from me. But this is All Figured Out. Oh, and we're going to start kind of a little bit after the track begins to get it in the 5 minutes. So it kind of starts in a weird spot. But here we go. You're wrong, you're wrong. They say to us, you'll never belong. 'Cause what you say is blasphemous. But this isn't their song. And they don't have to be friends with us. Too bad they just can't play along. They think they got it all figured out. They think they got it all figured out. They think they got it all figured out. That's the problem. They think they got it all figured out. to them. We're further along, so we don't have to listen. Since this is our song, we don't have to admit them. What happens if we're in the wrong? We think we got it all figured out. Think we got it all figured out. We think we got it all figured out. We think we got it all figured out. We think we got it all figured out. Come on. We think we got it all figured out.
Wow, that was the title track of this album, All Figured Out, and featuring Derek's vocals as well. Great singing, and I think that just adds to the message of this song. You singing it out, and we definitely don't have it all figured out. As much as we want to make it look like that on social media, a lot of the times, but the amount of prep work, Derek, you have done to release this album, to record it, to release it, and then to share it with the rest of the world, daily Instagram live episodes, and just to connect with the people who love your music. That takes a lot of work preparation.
remind
And
me.
maybe Derek, I just remember you should share with them how much work it even takes to print something so that it looks correct
yeah,
on your
like
Instagram.
check this out. On Instagram, when I'm doing these Instagram live, look at the sign that I have. You guys can't see this. I have an Instagram live thing showing here, telling people to go to YouTube because we can't stream it on Instagram. And look at the sign. Does anything look wrong with that? It's mirror, because Instagram Live does your FaceTime camera and it flips everything. And so anything that you print has to be backwards. And so that's like one of the things I learned about this, all these steps along the way of like, how do you post videos here? How do you do a story? Because we have to figure this stuff out. We are our own marketers, and in this kind of do-it-yourself world, which I'm grateful for, because I think before the internet and before social media, I wouldn't have been able to spread this weird music of mine. But because I can experiment with this, and I can mess around. I'm even willing to sacrifice swallowing tooth guards. I was telling Daniel before this began, 2 nights ago, if anyone was watching my live stream on Instagram, which I'm going to continue these. I'm improvising in a different key each night. That's actually what I did at the opening of this session. I improvised in B flat minor. It was B flat minor today. Anyways, 2 nights ago, I was playing, and I had this tooth guard that I wear sometimes just because of the rattling of the rings and whatnot. And at the end of the song, I swallowed. It fell out in my mouth, and I swallowed this rubber tooth guard. It was kind of a small tooth guard. And I tried to go to the camera, and as I was like choking and say like, take care of it. And I couldn't even speak. I was just like choking to death. And then anyways, I tried gagging. I don't need to go into the details. I think it's still in me. Let's just say that. But yeah, you sacrifice the body, sacrifice the time to make this stuff happen. And speaking of sacrifices, as we bring back, Dr. Jordan Van Hemert, I just want to say again how grateful I am to the Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra for the sacrifices that they made. This is a volunteer band, and we had this big live release party in person at a club in GR in Grand Rapids, as you would normally do. Hey, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
And so, Jordan, I'm telling them about how we had planned at this club called the Listening Room. This summer, we were going to do a live CD release party, and we were really excited about it. And of course, the pandemic happened, and I was just heartbroken that we couldn't have this event. So I'm so glad that we could still do this online event, that a lot of the band members I know are watching and commenting, chiming in. Of course, we've got Jordan here, the amazing director who any of this wouldn't have been possible, but also the Hope students and Drew Elliott, who mixed this. Just so many people were involved in this project, and I'm not used to that. I'm used to it just all being me. So I needed all this help to make it happen. And so those of you in the band watching, thank you so much. We'll have a real in-person party sometime. I'm giving you guys all CDs through Jordan. I'm giving those to him tomorrow. He'll give you that, guys, your CDs, those of you in the band and in the orchestra. So thank you guys so much. And Jordan, hey, we did it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
This has just been such a great, experience. It is so meaningful to see it all come to fruition like this. When the pandemic hit, obviously it slowed things down, and it was it was devastating, obviously, to our live performance careers. But, I think there are a lot of things that, first of all, I was just grateful that we got into the studio to record this album, even, before it happened. So first of all, there's that, and then second of all, I just think it's a great sense of accomplishment to have collaborated with you on this, Derek, and then to have given my students that that opportunity as well. I think it was great to have HCJO take part, but it was especially meaningful that my students were able to be a part of this. That just made the experience for me.
Cool. Well, yeah. So glad to have them. That was so fun. And I think, Daniel, are we going to do a little Q&A time right here?
Yeah, we definitely.
We've got a few minutes left in this session.
Definitely.
And I will say to those of you that have been watching thus far, thank you so much for sticking around. I know we've had lots of different things. I know no one knows what to expect at a live album release party these days when it's online. Are they going to be playing? Is there going to be music? Is there going to be talking? So thank you guys for just experiencing this all with us. And a huge thanks, everyone, a round of applause to Daniel Chia for putting this thing all together. This is not easy to do. He makes this look easy, but there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work that goes on. So thank you all the way on the other side of the world in Singapore. Thank you so much, Daniel.
You're welcome, Derek.
And everybody, be sure to check out his he has a whole channel on YouTube where he's interviewing amazing artists. He's an amazing sax player himself. Daniel, what is your YouTube channel?
It's at Daniel Chia Official. So, and that's my handle for Instagram and Facebook as well.
CHIA is Chia.
CHIA.
Oh yeah, it's right there on the screen.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to, ask any questions about, doing live streaming or producing such shows, I'm more than happy to share. And, I was just so appreciative of Derek for thinking of me. And this is such a big
thank you.
project for you, and to trust me with this, to help you with this. It's been a great journey. And I'm so glad we did it. And Jordan, we got to connect, because of this, and just incredible. I honestly just been loving doing all this, maybe even more than playing my horn, because it's just so exciting to push this out, for amazing musicians as yourselves. And it's just been a great journey. So thank you so much. And once again, for those who are watching, from all over the world, that just is quite incredible. And maybe let's open the comments up now for any questions. I know some of you have been asking questions throughout the show, but the comments go fast and furious, and we couldn't answer every single one. But right now, this is a good chance. Any questions for either Derek or Jordan? Anything about the album, and even if it's more saxophone specific for Derek.
And while there's this delay, also we'll wrap this up in like 10 minutes or so. So once again, thank you guys for watching. More videos to come from this session with the Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra and me. Some videos you haven't seen on YouTube, so please share with friends. This link will be live. Of course, you can order the album online. You can buy sheet music online. I've got another album myself coming out with Jeff Coffin, as I mentioned, from Dave Matthews Band. We have some duo stuff coming out, a full album, maybe in December or January. We got some videos there. I know, Jordan, you've got an album coming out. You just recorded at the same studio.
Yeah. I got the final mixes on that a few days ago, so that's going to be great.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
What's the name of that going to be called?
It's actually called I Am Not a Virus. It's about COVID-era racism against Asian Americans and my own journey as an Asian American living in the 21st century.
Wow, that sounds great.
Wow.
Thanks.
That sounds very important. So I'm excited to hear that.
Yeah, we should have featured some of the music, but maybe it was a bit, if the mixes came in a bit earlier, we could have featured it. But I think we're definitely looking forward to hearing that. And for sure, myself, being Asian and being involved in this as well, I'm sure that's an important message. And I can't wait to hear the album. So
thanks.
Cool.
Thanks.
That's super awesome. And we have a first question here from Kat and Joe. For Derek, what's the process of writing for a big band? Like, was it hard to write for instruments you don't play yourself?
Heck yes, it was hard. No, I mean, I have a little bit of experience from my college days but that was many years ago. You know, I also I used to teach at a university, Abilene Christian University down in Texas. I did that for 6 years before kind of pursuing music full time. And in one of my classes I taught was actually, it was like a introductory class to like all the instruments for vocal majors, and I had one semester to teach vocalists how to play trumpet, how to play trombone, how to play violin, how to play bassoon, how to play. It was nuts. It was I don't recommend that. You can't, it's not possible. We spent like 2 days on each instrument, but it was so fun for me to just pick up like a cello and be like, how do you do this? And learn. You can learn so much from YouTube. Also, you know, there's just so many obviously people that you can connect with. And so I love the challenge of learning a new instrument. And then I've realized I kind of like the challenge of writing for a new instrument. And so for some reason it wasn't quite as hard as I thought. But certain instruments like writing for drum set, that I had to really research. Like, what does this mean when you put an X there? You know, I'm writing the drum parts. I'm writing the bass parts. So it's tough, and obviously a lot of these musicians are well versed in the jazz genre. So of course, you know, Madison on the drums, he's doing a lot of stuff I did not write, thank goodness. And then Dr. Christopher Fashion, he kind of worked with me to kind of write those Brazilian parts. So that was cool, and of course the improv solos. But yeah, it was super gratifying for me, I would say. There were, like anything else, ups and downs along the way, but I'm really glad that I kind of took that plunge in like, what if I write a big band chart? What would that be like?
I think there was a related question also from Kat and Joe, and this is for Jordan. How much work was involved in translating Derek's written work to being performed by the band?
You know, it's really funny. I was just talking to my students about this today, about how so much of what's involved in playing this music is off the page, and the goal is that you know the music and the chart so well that you really don't need the page. It's just kind of a reference point. So I think basically the challenge was the tight rehearsal schedule. I knew we had a lot of material to cover, and we did not have a lot of time in which to do it.
Yeah.
But I just think that the band really rose to the occasion. And I think as far as like Derek's actual charts, they weren't very difficult to translate at all. He wrote in a really clear and very straightforward way, and so that was a treat. You know, sometimes I've been teaching composition and arranging for a while, and sometimes you get a chart that's just not really ready to go. But Derek's were not like that. Derek, I think the translating of the material to being performed by a band was just getting them to embrace the nuance, getting them to embrace the energy that Derek wanted. That was all of it really was very, very challenging, but extremely rewarding. Because I believe that if you don't have to work for anything, that it's probably not a very worthwhile project. So that I hope that answers your question.
Thank you for the question and the answers as well. Really appreciate it. I can only imagine the amount of work it needed, and for the students to, I guess, commit to this project, because I'm sure they're still busy with school and their own work, and for the orchestra as well, to be part of this. So definitely, it's a big undertaking for everyone. And I have another question from Austin. Austin says, I'm sure this is for Derek. Your style is definitely unique. Where do your creative influences come from? Who are some of your musical mentors?
Okay, wow, I could talk about this for a long time. The easy answer would be to say a bunch of sax players, but I'm not going to mention any sax players right now. My biggest influence by far, Bobby McFerrin, the great vocalist, the way that he does solo performances with no electronics, and you'll hear him jump between bass lines, upper melodies, and a falsetto and percussion, just so fluidly, so creatively, so artfully. But also, I would say some of my musical influences that might not be as direct, but are huge into like the style or the feel of music. My favorite musician of all time he's a current singer right now, a singer-songwriter, Sufjan Stevens. He does kind of like indie folk, kind of electronic. He does everything, and he won't be afraid to do like a solo banjo tune, and then do a tune with electronic synthesizers, orchestra. He throws it all in, like I am trying to do on this album. And then I could also mention, I one of my favorite slogans is for music. There's two types of music in this world. There's good music and there's bad music, and I like them both. So traditional bad music, like someone like a conservatory person might say, like, oh yeah, like Coldplay, Justin Bieber, that's like no, like I love that stuff. Like that's so fun. It makes my heart pound listening to that stuff, the arena rock stuff. And it's different, of course, for everybody, but it's important to find what that is for you. What is it that makes you want to do what you do, and go after that wholeheartedly. Yes, you want to force yourself to learn styles that are new to you. But man, when you apply this new language that you learn to the stuff that makes your heart beat, that's when you found something like your own voice. And that's at least what I did.
Wow. How about in terms of larger ensemble writing and big band music? What were some of the inspirations?
I mean, Maria Schneider is my favorite jazz orchestra, the Maria Schneider Jazz Orchestra. Her arrangement is so lush, full, beautiful. And like mine, it's not as swinging as maybe some traditional big band stuff. But it's just all about making, I think, the most beautiful sounds and taking the listener on journeys. And that's what I try to do with my music. I also love Snarky Puppy, like everybody my age and younger. Just the different sounds they do. And it doesn't matter what sounds they're hearing. They're not afraid to like put that out there, even if it doesn't fit in traditional jazz.
Thank you so much for sharing that. We probably have time for just a few more questions.
Rapid fire. Let's go.
Rapid
We'll go
fire.
really fast.
Yes.
Couple
We
more.
have Daniel asking, what other musicians or bands do you want to play with in the future?
Well, I mentioned Bobby McFerrin. He's hard to get a hold of. If anyone has a connection, let me know. I want to play with him. I would love to play with the Snarky Puppy guys. Or now other big bands like the WDR big band. They do a lot of open-minded kind of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot.
Wow. Okay, and this question, maybe Jordan could explain. Could you explain more about the HCJO?
Sure. Thanks, Natalie. Yeah, the Holland Concert Jazz Orchestra is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to expanding access and awareness of great Black American music on the lake shore of Michigan. So we have these three pillars of education, advocacy, and performance. And we strive for the best in all of those things. We love doing outreach with schools. Actually, we have a new program that I'm very excited to launch in the coming weeks. That is a direct reaction to all of the tumultuous conditions within our public schools. So, very excited about that. Thanks for your question, Natalie.
Cool.
Wow, thank you so much. And let's see if we have any other last questions. I saw a comment from Madison. Madison says it's not true, Derek, you wrote his solos.
Yeah, right. I think I tried writing one little solo. There was like one like do-do-do-do-do-do-doon. And I don't remember if you even played it. That was all I tried to do. Otherwise, it's just like solo here. Play good, Madison. And you did. You done played good.
Yeah,
definitely.
understatement. Big understatement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
that
think-
was heart of the band right there, keeping us
Absolutely.
all together, providing the energy. Even in that little box that we crammed him in. Way to go, Madison.
Yeah, and I really hope you guys get to do your physical album launch. I think hearing that in person, and I realized you had some people sitting in the studio during the recording process as well.
Yeah,
So
a couple
were
of tracks.
students as well, or members
We had a
of the
couple
public?
tracks where we invited anyone from the community to come and yeah, so you can hear clapping and
Yeah.
cheering
Oh,
on the
that's
album on a
cool.
couple of songs. All the other songs on all the videos, you can pretty much always see my dad and sometimes
Yeah.
my mom. He's the old guy in the back
Ah.
corner, so keep an eye out for him. My dad was looking at that the other day on the one video we released, and he was like, "Who is that old man? I'm old. Oh my gosh!" I was like, "Well, you were there." But
No, I was so glad that he was able to be a part of it, Derek. It was really great getting to know him in those couple of days.
Oh, that's
I love you,
awesome.
Dad and Mom,
Yeah.
and you guys.
Yeah,
So-
I think
oh, go
I
ahead.
think we're definitely coming down to the close of this session. We really, once again, we can't say thank you enough for all those of you who took the time out to be here with us live. Don't forget, if you want to watch any parts of this again, you can always rewatch, rewind, and definitely do look out for all the 8 videos that will be out on Derek's YouTube channel and on all his social media platforms. So that's just incredible. And Derek, maybe you could share just a bit more about what people can expect coming up and what else you have on your website for offer as well.
Well, I'm dropping my beatbox cello album next week. So yeah, right.
All
No,
right.
It sounds terrible, but you got to start from somewhere. But no, coming up, yeah, more of these videos as we've mentioned. I'm going to get back to doing these beatbox sax classes online, these online master classes. Those will start up soon. You can sign up for lessons with me on my website. I do those via Skype. I've got this album with Jeff Coffin. Lots of stuff that backstage pass if you want to learn how I do what I do with all those beatbox sax videos. Lots of stuff coming up. I know. Attend Hope College to learn from Jordan. He's also a killer sax player. Check out the tune Again that we already released. He does an amazing solo on that. Jordan's got his album. Lots of good stuff. And I just want to say before we end this, thank you again to all the people watching. It means so much that you're tuning in, especially this 2-hour event where there's so much going on. It means so much to me. I know to Jordan that you guys are watching. I know we couldn't do it in person, but this is so awesome that there's people from all over the world watching. It means so much. And to the band, I'm looking at you guys in the eye. I could get emotional talking about this. I wish I could be with you guys for this moment when I give you the CDs and we do the concert, but I can't. Jordan's going to give you those. But thank you guys so much. You don't know how much it means. We did it. It's awesome. I'm so proud of what we did, and you guys rock. And I'll see you soon.
Yes, thank you so much once again. Don't forget to share this link. You still can do it after this show. And once again, thank you, Derek and Jordan, for being here. And also all our other special guests from the companies that Derek endorses. They are a huge part of who he is as a musician and his sound. So we really appreciate it. And definitely to the band, to the crew, the videos look amazing. So definitely a huge team effort to make this album and album launch possible. So thank you so much again, and hope you guys will have a good day, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
And a huge thank you to my wife who's watching upstairs. I couldn't have done it without you. I'm going to go up there and we're going to have a big bowl of Fruity Pebbles. I'm so excited.
There you go.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your night for those of you in the US. So